You know, it's funny. While Sonic has been associated with baseball before, it always felt a little like the cast of Sonic would have to be playing with an arm and a leg tied behind their back, just playing on a regular diamond pitch with regular rules. I mean, half the cast of Sonic is capable of just sending home runs flying out of the park without even breaking a sweat, and nothing would stop Sonic himself from just zipping from one end of the field to the other to play every possible field position by himself. But then you have XB, Extreme Baseball from Tribe 9. This game feels like a version of baseball that is tailor-made for the cast of Sonic. In this setting, the game is played with the entire city as the field, with major national landmarks operating as like first base, second base, and third base. Every single match is a cross-country race. There are no home runs because no matter how far the ball is hit, the entire city is the field. The entire city is the field, so every ball is always in play no matter how far it's hit, although foul balls are a thing. There's no flyouts or force-outs. The only way to out a player is by touching them with the ball.
The only way to get someone out is by tagging them. That means you have to touch the runner with the ball. If you like force-outs or flyouts, too bad. They aren't a thing in XB. What we have instead is straight-up runner-fielder combat, while holding the ball. Combat being the game's main appeal. With me so far? Great. Here's where it gets interesting. If the runner dodges you or counters with their own brand of piss off, you're popped and they're clear to claim base. It's only an out if the ball makes contact. I repeat, the ball has to make contact.
Or striking them out. It's a full contact sport. The players just straight up get into fist fights at every base. I shouldn't even have to explain to you why that's perfect for the cast of Sonic. Add in the naturally zany topography of the cities in Sonic's world, and the potential is unmatched. Look at the gameplay that's on screen, and tell me it wouldn't be actively improved by adding the cast of Sonic. I think you can agree that, like, with all these animations, like, literally just making it Sonic fits, and, like, would probably make it even make more sense. And that's the thing, because while Mario has had sports spin-off games, like, Sonic has only really ever done racing. It's never had, like, Sonic Baseball or Sonic Soccer or Sonic Basketball like what Mario has had. And again, I contend that, like, the reason it kind of doesn't make sense for Sonic to have a sports spin-off game is because the characters of Sonic are too big for the limitations of these regular sports games in regular reality. But with XB, it's extreme baseball, so it's entirely fitting for the extreme characters of the Sonic universe. The only question is, what positions would all the characters play, right? Like, who would be what? I feel like the team lineup, at least on like the hero side, would be like Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Amy, Shadow, Rouge, Omega, Vector, and Espio. And you could sub in other characters depending on the game. And Eggman's team would be himself, Sage, Metal Sonic, Infinite, and the hard-boiled heavies. And in terms of position, I think like Sonic and Eggman would probably be like the pitcher, right? That feels like a very main character-y kind of position. Because that's one of the things about baseball that's kind of unique relative to other sports, is like, it is a team sport, but it's more abstract in how the team functionality works. Because when your team is up for bat, it's like just you versus the pitcher. It's very kind of one-on-one, like, Wild West duel kind of feeling of having your one pitcher versus your one batter. And then, you know, you hit the ball, you get on base, and there's team dynamics with how you get on base and, like, sacrifice plays and whatnot. But it still feels very individualized, almost, compared to other sports. So, like, having the main character being the pitcher feels pretty fitting. Because, like, it's Sonic versus Eggman at bat. It's Sonic versus Infinite at bat, right? And then the opposite, like Eggman versus Sonic at bat, Eggman versus Knuckles at bat, etc. Tails and Sage, it feels like, would make sense as the catcher. The catcher is the brainy position. They signal to the pitcher, they, like, give the pitcher, like, signs telling them, like, what pitch they should be doing. They're defensively oriented. They're responsible for fielding home plate and coordinating the infield pitchers. If someone tries to steal, they're kind of responsible for keeping an eye on that. So, like, it kind of feels appropriate for, like, a support role for Tails and Sage to fill. First base is, like, a unique base position. It's the first base touched in the event of a base hit. So they're very close to the bag. They use a special glove that's specifically for catching throws to first base. So to me, like, first base, maybe that would go to, like, Amy and Metal Sonic. Especially because they're kind of foils to each other. They were both introduced in Sonic CD. So I think it makes sense for them both to be manning the same field position. I think, like, Rouge and Heavy King being on second base. Second base usually fields grounders, and, like, they can back up first base when needed. And, like, they're the main position for any kind of double play. Shadow and Infinite being on third base. It's like the hot corner, requires quick reflexes, is the closest to the batter on any balls hit by right-handed batters, and they have to make long throws to first base. Espio and Heavy Shinobi being on shortstop. It's the most defensive infield position, and it's, like, arguably the most demanding and important defensive position in the game besides the catcher. And then you'd have, like, Knuckles, Omega, and Vector, and then the other heavies as the outfielders. Of course, that would be my lineup, considering the idea that all of the Sonic characters would play on a team together. But I think another possibility is just having each individual character have their own team, where all the other players are just generic NPCs. Like how the Mario sports games tend to do it, where the actual Mario character is the MVP and all the other players are just Koopas or whatever. So in that same vein, I feel like you could just have Team Sonic just be Sonic and or Tails, and then the rest of the field and batting lineup is just generics like these guys. And, like, Team Eggman is just Eggman and or Metal Sonic, and the rest of the players are just Egg Pawns, that sort of thing. So that way you can have Sonic versus Knuckles or Sonic versus Shadow or, you know, any arrangement like that. You can have XB matches with the intra-characters teams competing against each other as well, instead of them all being on a team together, right? So that's just sort of what I couldn't help but thinking of when I, you know, found out about Tribe 9 and was playing Tribe 9. Like, dude, this baseball concept, this system of XB, literally, this is what you need for a Sonic baseball game. You could just take XB and reskin it to be Sonic. Just take the gameplay that you're seeing on screen in front of you right now and make it Sonic. Like, make it more interactive, because Tribe 9 is more about being an RPG rather than being like a baseball sim. It's RNG, it's numbers-based, it's pseudo-randomized. Just have it be more of an actual, like, arcadey baseball system. Like, look at Super Mega Baseball. Just take the aesthetics of XB with it being a cross-city field game and have the arcadey mechanics of Super Mega Baseball where you're actually, like, swinging the bat and throwing the ball and stuff like that. And that's the perfect fit for a Sonic baseball game. You might say, well, Tribe 9's got XB locked down, you can't just use that. But actually you can, because this game doesn't fucking exist anymore. You're watching the footage of a game that you literally can't play. If you're watching this video, that means that Tribe 9 has been taken offline. It has end of service. Literally, this game doesn't exist anymore, and it sucks. Because I was really into this game. This game was, like, sold to me as a baseball-inspired RPG. And I was like, that actually sounds really cool. And it was. And I love this baseball minigame. I love playing XB in this game. It's a lot of fun. Like, the way that you develop and level up your characters and like, boost their stats using the RPG mechanic influences the RNG of XB. So it really sucks that, like, this game is gonna be gone. This entire, like, baseball minigame is not going to exist as something that anyone can ever play ever again. That sucks. Steal it. Steal it and turn it into Sonic instead. Take this entire concept, this entire idea of, like, look, the entire city is the diamond of the baseball field. Again, there's no home runs because you can't hit the ball out of the city. There's foul balls, but, like, if you hit the ball, it is in play the end. Even if you catch the ball, it doesn't matter. You have to touch the player with the ball in order to out them. And they can beat you up and stop you from doing that. It literally comes down to, like, a fist fight between the defense team and the offense batter, where the defense team has to hit you in the face with the ball in order to out you. That's so perfect for Sonic, man. It sucks. Tribe 9 is dead, but Sonic Baseball, Sonic Extreme Baseball can live. I hope in some way, in some world, somehow that can happen. But as it is, we're gonna have to sing a eulogy to Tribe 9. It sucks, but Tribe 9 is dead. Maybe one day, we'll get Sonic Extreme Baseball. But until then, thanks, Tribe 9. I'll enjoy the memories.
突撃突撃。
ここだ。いっけー。飛びついてでも。さあ
お尻ペッペー。突撃。嘘。
攻め時。飛ばしてくれ。その打球受け止めた。おりゃ。ためらうな。
道は守りきってみせます。せや甘いいただきました。やうりゃ
なめないでくれる。
しゃ行くぜ。俺様スペシャル。
手応えあり
よし。
ぶっ飛べ。キレのあるボールで
はあ飛べ勝負になりませんね。そりゃぬるいね。
ほら行くぜ。
そこだいっけよっよっ
任せろ。
マジかよ。
攻め時だ。甘いね。ここだ。
よっ、
やったぞ。せいここだ飛べよしここだいけ
フェイントを入れて。
せいや僕が行こう。おら余裕だね。うわっはいよ。とこれが最高出力だ。食らいやがれ。飛んでけ。あ
どうしたの？
くそ。こんくらい余裕。これは取れる。おりゃー！それ！よし。